Welcome back. An emergency crash landing of a blue and white twin-engine Piper Aztec aircraft, similar to the one you see here on your screen, leaves police on Andros investigating. As a result of the crash landing on Tuesday, the airport in San Andros was closed due to the aircraft being on the runway. Initial reports suggest that sometime around 1:20 p.m., the pilot was the sole passenger on the aircraft. Tail number C6ALS was traveling from New Providence, and upon arrival at the San Andros airport began experiencing difficulties with the landing gear. As a result, the aircraft came to an emergency stop some 2.5 miles from the initial point of landing on the western runway. After some time, the aircraft was removed from the runway and the airport was reopened to continue flight services in and out of San Andros. $21,000 worth of dangerous drugs are now in the hands of the Drug Enforcement Unit, the DEU. Police intelligence led to over 20 pounds of suspected marijuana being found in a home on Windsor Lane off East Street near Windsor Park. Police say sometime around 1:10 a.m. on Wednesday, officers attached to Operation Secure City executed a search warrant at the home. However, upon their arrival, two male residents fled the home, making good their escape. A search of the home was conducted, which led to the discovery of a large quantity of suspected marijuana. Investigations continue into this matter. Meantime, two females were caught up in the arrest of 6 suspects in separate incidents on Tuesday. In one incident, sometime around 12:45 p.m., officers executing a search warrant at a residence in the area of Coconut Grove Avenue it was during that search, a large quantity of suspected marijuana was discovered, leading to the arrest of 2 males ages 49 and 31 years old and a 22-year-old female. Nearly 3 hours later, around 3:30 p.m., officers executed another search warrant at a home in the area of Sampson Street in Nassau Village. This search led to the discovery of a large quantity of suspected marijuana, resulting in the arrest of 2 males, ages 35 and 29, along with a female, aged 40 years old. The 6 individuals are expected to be charged with possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply. Investigations into these matters continue. With the prorogation of the House of Assembly, the decriminalization of marijuana was one of the bills that was left on the table. When asked for an update on whether it will be brought back, Attorney General Senator Ryan Pinder says discussions and consultations are still being carried out.
So we are proceeding on our consultation initially with some private sessions with some interested parties. Those should kick off within 2 weeks. We look to launch public consultation and town hall meetings through September. We have the legislative regime prepared. We have all of the ancillary pieces, the regulations, the rules, the respective orders, all prepared. And we have a communication plan that has been drawn up that we look to initiate.
Attorney General Pinder says once widespread consultation is completed, the matter should be tabled again by the end of the year.
We certainly look to be in a position after the consultation and after we get feedback from important constituencies in the country to be able to proceed with tabling that legislation in the new legislative session. And my goal is certainly to have it tabled and debated before the end of the calendar year.
That was Attorney General Senator Ryan Pinder. Tar balls, supposedly from the oil spill at the Buckeye Terminal in Freeport, Grand Bahama, are washing up on local beaches on the eastern shorelines on the island. Officials are now extensively monitoring the situation, according to Minister for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie. On August 2nd, an estimated 5 to 10 barrels of oil spilled into the surrounding water at the jetty off Pinder's Point. At that time, officials noted that the spill had not impacted the shoreline.
Yes, there has been immediately after the spill, all government agencies involved were activated. This included the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection, the Department of Environmental Health Services, also the Department of Transport, the Ministry for Grand Bahama is involved, the Ministry of Tourism is involved, and also the Grand Bahama Port Authority Environmental Department. So there is a task force. The cleanup has been proceeding very well, and I know that they are monitoring extensively the shoreline, the eastern shoreline of the island, because there had been some tar balls that were detected along the beaches, and that's being investigated to determine exactly where they came from, because there isn't a definitive answer if it actually came from the oil spill. It could have come from another source, and so that's being tested in the U.S. to determine where exactly it came from.
When asked how much of the oil remains to be cleaned up, Minister Moxie could not say. However, she told reporters on Tuesday, just before the weekly cabinet meeting, that cleanup efforts are ongoing. Minister Moxie thanks all of those who assisted in those cleanup efforts. Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, Obi Wilshcombe, announced on Monday that the Bahamas will host the 13th Annual Commonwealth Women's Affairs Ministers Meeting, 13 WAMM, under the theme Equality Towards a Common Future, set for August 21st to the 23rd at the Atlantis Resort. The meeting is held every 4 years in the Commonwealth country and provides ministers, senior officials, civil society, private sector, and partner agencies with an opportunity to discuss critical issues in advancing gender equality and women's empowerment. The 4 priority areas to be discussed include gender and climate change, ending violence against women and girls, gender equality and disability inclusion, and women's economic empowerment, women in leadership. Presenters for the Bahamas include Minister of Education Glenys Hannah Martin, Dame Anita Allen, Dr. Linda Davis, and former Director of Tourism Joy Jibrilu. There are 28 countries with representatives from Africa, Asia, Australia, and the Caribbean regions. Minister Wilshcombe noted that as a host country, the Bahamas will assume the chairmanship of the meeting for the next 3 years. And finally, the Bahamas national men's basketball team destroyed Cuba in their opening game at the FIBA International Basketball Federation Olympic pre-qualifying tournament in Argentina on Monday night, beating Cuba by 41 points, 109-68. The Bahamas shot an impressive 63% from the field, including a blistering 50% from the three-point line, making 17 of 34 attempts. Buddy Hield led the way with 24 points. DeAndre Ayton had 22 points, 10 rebounds. Franco Miller off the bench with 18 points. Eric Gordon Jr. finishing with 17 points. Kai Jones did not play. Tonight, Team Bahamas will play their second game when they face the host country, Argentina, in their quest to qualify for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. The team that wins the tournament will secure a spot in the Paris 2024 Games. The game tonight begins at 8:10 p.m. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jareno Saunders. Thanks so much for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.